Share and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be finalizing a sketch that I started working on today, and I'll be showing you some tips for shading, just getting um, the shades really nice and smooth and making everything a little bit more finished and polished. And today I'm working with the same pencil as last time, the Royal Graphite pencil. And then this is the sketchbook I am using. So as you can see, I've already almost finished the drawing portion, and now I'm just going to start adding some halftones wherever the shadows naturally would occur on the human body, and just really starting to buff out those lines that I placed before with my sketch. You don't have to be too precise with shading either, because when you blend it out, it'll all kind of smooth out together and really blend nicely. Just really defining those lines that I drew in, and then shading in each little section of the stomach, darkening some of those halftones to make sure you can differentiate. Anywhere you want to define more, you would want more shading. So that's what I'm doing here. Really making sure the outlines of the lines are more shaded. And then to blend everything in, I like using my finger. Just makes it a lot easier, more convenient. And I mean, they do have tools for blending, but I'd rather just use my finger. I feel like I have a bit more control on where I want the shading to be. And then I hadn't done this trick with any other part of the picture, so here I will just go over the rest of what I've already shaded and blend it out, make it nice and smooth. You don't want any of those little sketchy lines. You want it all to be nice and blended and seamless. And of course, you can always add a ton more shading. Keep blending it out and then shading more, blending it out more and shading more. This will give you a lot more depth to your picture. But I didn't really want to do too much for this one. I kept it nice and simple. And I believe in total this drawing took me about 20 to 30 minutes. So nothing too crazy. I'm just really making sure the borders of everything are blended and have a decent amount of shading. And you can see everything looks a lot smoother, just a nicer quality of a picture. And to continue on with shading, doing the outsides of the arms as well as the insides right next to where the shirt is. There would of course be a shadow naturally if the light is coming from the front of her, which that is where my light source is for this drawing. And depending on where your light source is coming from, that is how you'll want to make sure you are shading. So naturally what's behind her would be darker. So that's why the outside portions of the arm are shaded more than what you are seeing directly in front of you. Now again, blending it out with the finger, nice and easy. And now, since we lost some of those lines separating the shirt from the skin, I'm just going back in and darkening them, defining them once more. And of course, you can do a cool pattern, whatever you want on the shirt, but I just wanted to leave it plain and white for the purposes of this video. And always just kind of taking a little step back and looking at your picture from further away helps you get a better perspective on it. Here I'm lightly shading the outside portions of the shirt as well. Now when you're dealing with clothing, of course, there will be more wrinkles naturally, but again, this is more about the idea of shading as opposed to clothing. And remember, the more you blend out and go back in and shade more, the more realistic the picture will end up in the end. So now just moving on to the hair. What I like to do with hair is always just start with the shape, drawing in some lines, and then I will shade the whole head like I'm doing now. Just shading in everything that I have previously mapped out. And how dark you shade will determine how dark the hair is. I try to keep it like, in my mind, I was imagining mid to dark brown, so I didn't want to shade it too dark. And as you can see, I did already outline the ears just to make sure that we didn't lose them while shading in her hair. Since that is done, I will go in and just really define some more of those lines. That will give you a nice idea of the direction the hair is flowing. You don't have to do every single line and make them all perfect, but you should just kind of distinguish what direction the hair is flowing in. That's the main idea here. So yeah, this video is really just about shading and then redefining some more of your lines to get a more finished look in your sketch. And I do primarily like to sketch. That is my main type of art that I do. Black and white sketches. I feel like I don't have a lot of patience for drawing, even though that's kind of what's required. So I wouldn't be able to do like colored pictures or anything, but I will spend a couple hours if need be on a nice sketch. And of course, this is not perfect. As I said, this was a pretty quick sketch, but I hope that it is giving you the idea of what your drawing can look like if you just take the time and really blend and shade and redefine those lines. As you can see, you can always do more to your picture if you feel like it's just not finished. Take a break, come back, and see what else you can do with a fresh pair of eyes. And I hope you guys do join me for my next video. I always post on Tuesdays and Fridays. And of course, the last step in your drawing should always be your signature. And I always mark mine pretty much the same way every time. I like to find like a very linear spot on my picture and just pop my extremely long name in there and then the date as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed.